Okay, so goals are so in right now. They're super overhyped. Everybody's obsessed with setting goals, smart goals, all this stupid goal crap. I feel like it's just not really constructive. And I'll explain because I know that sounds really counterintuitive. Like you gotta have a goal, something to work towards and motivate you. But I'm gonna explain. I don't think that is a good motivator, and I don't think it's very healthy to set goals to begin with. Everyone is really obsessed with like this idea of progress and getting better at something or making more money or moving up in the world somehow. You're always obsessed with what's coming tomorrow. Like, what am I working towards? And then once I have that thing, I'll be happier. I'll be in a better place or whatever. If you've ever read The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, he kind of talks about this paradoxical nature of humans where we want what comes tomorrow so much. We're always thinking about tomorrow and the next best thing and moving forward. But I mean, our lives are not getting any longer. So the paradox of man is that we're like so eager to rush towards our inevitable demise, in search of something greater, something better. The thing with goals is every goal just creates another goal. Like every goal you achieve, you set another goal, and maybe you're happy for a little bit, but obviously that feeling is fleeting. So if you center your life around goals, then you kind of become a slave to what you don't have, and then you end up forgetting about what you do have. So how would you move on from goals? Like, how do you motivate yourself if you don't have a goal? How do you even do things other than just lay on the couch all day? You have to think about things through the perspective of a child. When children do things, they don't do things in order to become better at them or in order to, make money. They're not thinking very far ahead. That's thing about children is they don't really consider the consequences of their actions. They do things simply because they enjoy doing them. Better or worse, good or bad, those kind of ideas are basically irrelevant to a kid. They don't go out and do something because they want to learn it, they want to get good at it. Like that's not what they're doing. They're not grinding. They do it, and then as a byproduct of doing it, they get better at it. But that was never the intention. It was just something that happened. Everyone you consider is like great, like an industry leader or like a billionaire or something. I don't think they got there because they set a bunch of goals and met those goals. They probably got there because they really enjoyed doing whatever it is they're doing. And I think this is kind of what Charles Bukowski meant by don't try. It's kind of a famous quote, is that you should be mainly focused on doing. You should be doing what you want to do, not trying to get somewhere in the future, It's kind of like Yoda said, you don't try, you just do. So I think that we should de-emphasize the future a little bit. I feel like we should just find ways to enjoy what we're doing, find something that is worthwhile doing, and stop worrying about whether or not you're good or bad at it, or if you're going to get better in the future. There's a good litmus test for what you're doing is if you think to yourself, would I still be doing this if I knew for certain that I would never get any better at it? If the answer to that question is no, then you should probably be careful with putting a lot of time into that. So it's kind of like if you're a content creator or streamer or whatever, if your main motivation is hitting goals like view counts or subscriber counts or, whatever arbitrary metric you decide to set as a goal, if that is your source of motivation and the process of doing it is not worthwhile to you, then you're probably not going to last very long. That's just wasted time at that point, You should be doing things that you enjoy doing mainly. Don't do things just to reach some end. The funny thing is that even without the goals, if you continue to do something, you'll naturally just get better at it. Eventually you will hit the goals that you would have set. Think of it this way. Would you set a goal to reach a certain age, or if you're like younger, to reach like a certain height? People don't set goals for that because they're, out of their control and they're, that's not the motivator for staying alive. And I realize there are goals that are a little more in your control, but the reality is most of that stuff really isn't in your control. The only thing you really have control over is what you're doing like right now. So don't really frame your life in terms of hitting the next goal and setting a new goal. Just enjoy the day-to-day, enjoy the moment.